To one of the most breathtaking feats in mountaineering history. There are only 14 peaks in the world higher than 8,000 meters, including Mount Everest and K2. In 2019, Nims Purja conquered them all and shattered the record by doing so in less than 7 months. Nims's journey was captured in a new Netflix documentary, 14 Peaks, Nothing is Impossible, which is streaming now. We sat down with Nims and the director, Torquil Jones, to discuss the mission and capturing it all on film. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Nims, I'd like to start with you. In the past, it had been 7 years it had taken for people to ascend the 14 highest peaks. You decide, I'm going to do it in 7 months. Where did you come up with that idea?
To be honest, I had never even imagined myself until 2017. I was on Everest as one of the lead instructor for the Gurkhas to take onto the summit. So what happened that season was I managed to climb Everest, Lhotse, and Makalu, which is the world's first, fourth, and the fifth highest mountain. And I did that in 5 days with stopping for 2 full-on day and night drinking. So at that point, I realized, oh, okay, maybe I could do something bigger. And that was the igniter of the whole idea.
And at one point you say, we drink tonight and we plan tomorrow. How much planning goes into all this?
Okay, just to put you like things into perspective, a climber, I'm not gonna name it, he has tried to climb 14 times on one 8,000 meter peak, and he hasn't still been able to do it. It's a mammoth task, and you need to plan everything in details. You know, you need to look at the conditions of the team members. You also need to look at the condition of the route, the weather, and everything. So yeah, of course, as you said, it takes a lot.
And Torquil, how did you get into this?
So Nims and his team had filmed during Project Possible, and then I met Nims shortly afterwards, and we kind of hit it off and started to talk about what he'd done and the fact that he'd filmed the climbing scenes for the Project Possible. You know, they were not only filming these epic cinematic kind of, you know, shots from Nepal, Pakistan and China, but really even during the worst possible moments, during storms, during rescue missions, they were still filming, and they were filming right up into the summits when, for most climbers, you know, they can't take their gloves out of their hands. So I came on board after Nims had finished, and then we kind of were very aligned in what kind of story we wanted to tell, which was this was much bigger than a mountaineering film. You know, we wanted to tell a really thrilling, action-packed story, but one that had real emotional depth.
And Torquil, what message would you like for viewers to take away from 14 Peaks?
When I first got involved in the project, it wasn't because I was interested in mountaineering. It was really because there was, for me, Nims' story was much bigger than the 14 Peaks. It was about that idea that this guy has battled against the odds. He's battled against what people said was impossible, and he's achieved it through, you know, an incredible physicality, extreme mental toughness. But above all, I think Nims has this kind of limitless imagination that means that it is an inspiring story.
You went up Mount Everest, right? And then you did 2 more peaks, all in 48 hours. A lot of times people need to regroup in between, you know, reaching the summit. How were you able to push the limits like that?
Of course, I have a bit of, you know, different physicality, but no different to any people who lives on high altitude, even though I grew up in the most flat part of Nepal. But the thing is, what I believe in everything in life is, if your goal is bigger than you, and if your goal is bigger than your selfishness, if your goal is bigger than, you know, like maybe commercially, the money, name, or fame, you always get that, you know, massive energy.
What do you want people to know about Sherpas, who, as you say, are often overlooked, and Nepalese climbers in general?
Well, you know, we are the king of 8,000ers. You know, we dominate that thing, and people have been taking that credibility, that name away from us. I think, backed up by this project, I hope everything will do the justice.
Your mother was also ill during the mission. How did that impact you while you were climbing?
A lot, because I was very close to my mom. I was the biggest financial contributor to my family. because I was in Special Forces. I was sending money to my mom and dad every month, to my brothers and to my wife and all. When I decided to resign from the Special Forces, it's not only me who suffer, it's my whole family. But what I said to them was, look, what we go through as a pain, as a family, is nothing to what the outcome of this project will be. So many kids, so many people around the world are going to get inspired by this project.
The picture of that traffic jam that's now become so popular. Describe for me what was happening in that moment, because I think many people didn't have the idea that there are so many people up at the same time, so close to each other.
I never get to tell this story about that picture. And I think all the media, all the news, everybody send the wrong message. Nowadays, we are so negative that people are telling somebody else, lowering themselves, oh, now Everest is touristy. Even though you climb Everest, everybody is doing that. That's completely wrong, okay? And why? Because look, everybody who is not climbing Everest, everybody who is doing that is not trying to be next Nims or trying to be next, top one in that league. For example, so many people run marathon. Are they trying to be Mo Farah? Are they trying to be number one in the world? Not necessarily. People do this adventure. People run marathon to improve. From that experience, what they do from adventure, they want to take in their life and wanna move forward. The second thing was, yes, it was only 2 days in that season, and everybody who is going through the adventure wanted to pick that best weather. So every day on Everest is not like that. Please, let's clear that message away. It's still 9,000 meters. It's still tough. And those people who wants to take away from adventure, we shouldn't be lowering them. So let's be positive, guys.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And all the best with 14 Peaks.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.